All right, so for problem number 25, it says the psychologist set up an experiment to study the tendency of a person to select the first item when presented with a series of items. In the experiment, 300 people were presented with a set of 5 pictures arranged in a random order. Each person had or was asked to choose the most appealing picture. Of the first 150 participants, 36 chose the first picture in the set. Among the remaining 150 participants, P people chose the first picture. If more than 20% of all participants choose the first picture in the set, which of the following inequalities best describes the possible values of P? All right, so this one's kind of hard. So of the first 150 participants, 36, so we're going to say first 150 participants, 36 choose the first picture. Okay? And then the remaining 150 and remember they're labeled as P. Choose the first picture. In other words, we know choose or chose. I'm writing chose, but I'm saying choose. Chose the first picture. And I'll recap this in a second. I'm just thinking out loud. All right, so let's think about what that means. So there's 300 people surveyed total, right? The first 150 out of that first 150, 36 of those people pick the first picture. So there's a series of pictures, and they say pick the one that's most appealing, but they're set up in a specific way. So 36 of the first 150 choose the first picture. They find it most appealing. Now, the P part is, out of the remaining 150 people, we're trying to figure out about how many of them choose the first picture. Okay? And so how do we, and we're going to have some sort of inequality that represents that. So how do we go about doing that? Well, the participants total, remember probabilities are about the total people. It's how many people actually picked the first picture out of 300. And how many was that? Well, we know there was 36 for sure, plus the second batch there were P number of people, right? How many were there total? 300. So this is the percentage or probability, it's really more of a percentage, of how many people picked the first picture out of the 300 people. Well, now there's one other thing. There's an inequality, and so we got to look at this. The question actually says if more than 20% of all participants chose the first picture in the set, which of the following inequalities best describe the possible values for P? So this has to be greater than 20%, and we'll just write it as a decimal, 0.20 or 0.2. So now one of those, we basically just have to solve for P, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what we have to do?
Yeah, so multiply by 300.
So if I multiply by 300, but I want to, yeah, so let's do that. So if I multiply everything by 300, what's 300? Times 0.2.
60.
60, right? Okay, well that's weird because I don't have that. So let's just leave it like this. Let's do this.
They just leave that.
Let's just do this for now. Okay? Isn't that actually D?
What?
Right? Except they wrote P plus 36. I have 36 plus P.
It's the same. It's the same thing though.
No, it's not. This is not the same. Here, you've got to distribute that through the parentheses and multiply it.
Oh, okay.
So the answer is actually D,
Gotcha.
right? Because I could rearrange this and I could say P plus 36, right? That's just the commutative property of addition.
Yeah.
You guys remember that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's actually D. Are there any questions on that? I got to be honest, as I read that, I thought to myself, this is not going to be an easy one. But it actually is. Okay? By the way, you got to be able to do that in a minute and a half, something like that. All right.